have had many communications with Jesus Christ, the Savior of this world, and our heavenly parents. I have had many angelic visitors have come and communicated with me and even manifested themselves to me. Because of these communications, I know for a fact that my children are happy and busy in the spirit world. Because of my communications with my friend Chanley Daybell, I know that she is also very happy and extremely busy. I have always mourned the loss of my loved ones, and I have lost many in this mortal world. However, I know them more than most people. I know where they are now and what they're doing. I know how wonderful heaven is, and I'm homesick for it every single day.
I think she thinks she's going to heaven. You murdered your children. You conspired to murder your future husband's current wife. And then you call her like your friend. Absolutely beyond anything we've seen in quite some time here on Court TV. That's Lori Daybell, the so-called doomsday cult killer, convicted killer, sentenced to life without parole. So her brother, Alex Cox, who died on the toilet, was the one who was, we believe, and I think prosecutors believe, was the one who actually murdered her children, like physically killed the children, or was in charge of that. We know that he shot and killed her husband, Charles Vallow, as well. Well, Lori has another brother, Adam Cox, and Chanley Painter had an opportunity to speak with him. Let's take a listen.
When I first realized that she was going down a weird path is when I was standing in her kitchen with her and her telling me that she was becoming an immortal being. And I talk about that experience in our book, about, you know, the things that happened after that. But to hear her talk about how I never heard the near-death experience where she said she died and came back. So when you have delusion, I'm not so sure how delusion works. I'm not a brain scientist or a psychologist, but you can obviously tell there's something really wrong. And delusional is, it's just, I want to say that surprised me, and because some of it did, but the gist of it is that's where her brain is.
Do you think she will ever reach a spot one day where she does come to realize?
I don't know. I mean, that's the question. Does she know what she's done? Does she truly believe what she said in court yesterday? Or is this all fake, and is she just trying to save face? No, I don't think anybody knows the right answer to that, because none of us are in her head. I think we all want to know that. But if it comes out and she was in a delusion, she comes out of her delusion and realizes what she did, I don't know how she could live with herself. She'd probably just want to kill herself. Well, it sounded like she wants to be dead anyways, of what she said yesterday. So who knows what's going to happen in jail or what she's going to do or whatever. It seems very unstable. I think most of us are willing to try to go down that avenue of forgiveness and try to understand each other and try to make something work.
And we also have heard from her sister as well, who gave this statement to Court TV, Summer Shiflett. Remember her from the trial. I think people could see yesterday that I've been seeing the last few years. Lori is in a delusional state. It is heartbreaking as her sister to see her this way and to know what she has chosen and to see her fate. I still love her and want what is best for her, but I didn't expect anything less than what happened yesterday. Her children did not deserve their fate. It was an honor and a privilege to know Tylee and JJ, and I'm grateful for every precious moment I had with them. I'll bring back in our think tank, still with us, Judge Gail Byers, Ann Bremner, Michael Sterling. Lori Daybell said something else yesterday that I want to play for you, which I think is it really kind of caught my attention. Let's watch.
Jesus knows me, and Jesus understands me. I mourn with all of you who mourn my children and Tammy. Jesus Christ knows the truth of what happened here. Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medications happen.
That's very specific. I mean, and that was not part of this trial. Let me remind everyone what the cause and manner of death that were found and were testified to at the case. Let's watch that.
JJ was found with a plastic bag over his head that was duct taped tightly. He was bound. There was evidence of a struggle, and there's no other explanation of why he was dead. I determined the cause of death to be asphyxia by plastic bag over the head and duct tape covering the mouth. Homicide by unspecified means is a term that is or can be used for the cause of death when the forensic pathologist has essentially looked at the totality of the case, including the circumstances of the death, the autopsy findings and lack thereof autopsy findings in this case, the toxicology, and also based on medical and social records, that the forensic pathologist, which is me in this case, feels that the cause of death was by homicide, but I just can't pinpoint exactly what that was.
And in conducting the autopsy on Tammy Daybell, did you in fact reach a conclusion as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes, we did.
And what were those?
We determined her cause of death to be the result of asphyxia, and her manner of death to be homicide.
Okay, so the statement that she makes, which is very specific, accident, suicide, and fatal side effects from medicine, 3 causes of death. She said there was no murders in this case. She points to those 3. There's 3 victims in this case: asphyxia, unspecified, and asphyxia. So what does this mean, Ann Bremner? Is this going to be like part of her appeal, saying that her attorneys didn't fight the cause and manner of death in this case? I should have testified. We should have subpoenaed Jesus. What's going to be? What does it mean?
Well, Jesus knows. I mean, so I think the subpoena of Jesus is number one. I mean, she's completely delusional. We know they don't have a mental defense, insanity defense in Idaho. And so she couldn't avail herself to that. And don't you think she never would anyway? Because she thinks she's right. She's homesick for heaven. You know, so she's already been in heaven.
Not so homesick that she did not. She fought the death penalty, right? She wanted to make sure she didn't get on death row. It would have made her eligible potentially for heaven. I still don't think you get there, but at least she would have been dead a little bit quicker. Michael Sterling, what do you think when, like, she's in court speaking for the first time and she's talking about how the victims died?
Yeah, Benny. I mean, I'll be clear. I thought she should have given no statement, right? For 2 reasons. One, you still have rights on appeal. And one of the things that's important is that if there was any, and in her particular case, the reason the death penalty was taken off the table was because prosecutors didn't turn over certain information in the period of time that the judge thought was appropriate. So one of the things that may have been her right on appeal is the fact that that the prosecutors didn't turn over certain things, and maybe the appeals court or the Supreme Court would have said, hey, the fact you didn't turn over these things, you preserve your rights to appeal. And I would have preserved her rights. I wouldn't have let her testify, not to mention the fact that she's got another case pending in Arizona, another murder case pending in Arizona. So I would have protected her Fifth Amendment rights and did everything I could not to let her talk at all. So her statement was bizarre. It was unique. It was something that maybe her defense attorneys tried to stop her from doing and they couldn't stop, but certainly something that she probably hurt herself more so in terms of her appeal and the case that she's got pending in Arizona.
Judge Byers, let me ask you, does an attorney have an obligation if your client is telling you how the victims died, that you should argue that in front of the jury?
I think attorneys sometimes struggle, as you can see from the faces of these attorneys, struggle with that balance of how exactly to preserve the rights of their client while zealously advocating and also getting them engaged in their own defense. If you could see, Vinny, if you played the tape back, you could see by the faces of the attorney, one gentleman to her right almost stared down consistently, never even looked at her during her statement. And the gentleman that's flanked to her left stared at her incredulously, just completely befuddled by everything she said, because it is a complete disconnect. This is a crime that demonstrates the ultimate brutal betrayal. A mother who kills her children and has now wound herself into the rabbit hole of a murderous cult that she now wants to blame on Jesus, God, and anyone else. And here's all I will say is I hope whatever God she serves is one that grants her as many lives as a cat, because she's gonna need them after all of the lifetime sentences she's gonna serve after being convicted multiple times.